The relentless climb. In a quaint town surrounded by lush green hills, there lived a young woman named Maya. From a young age, she was enchanted by tales of explorers and adventurers who scaled towering mountains and traversed uncharted territories. Her walls were adorned with posters of majestic peaks, and she spent countless hours devouring books about famous climbers. However, the reality of her life was starkly different. By day, she worked long shifts at the local diner, serving coffee and burgers, her dreams feeling distant and unattainable. Despite her routine, Maya's heart yearned for adventure. Every evening, as she walked home, she would gaze at the mountains on the horizon, imagining herself conquering their heights. One rainy night, while cleaning up after the last customers had left, she overheard a group of climbers at a nearby table discussing their plans for an upcoming expedition to a challenging mountain range. Her heart raced with excitement and fear. This was the moment she had been waiting for. Gathering her courage, Maya approached the climbers. "I heard you talking about your expedition. I want to join you," she said, her voice shaking slightly. The group paused, eyeing her skeptically but also intrigued. One of the climbers, a seasoned mountaineer named Jack, smiled kindly. "It's not an easy journey. Are you sure you're ready for it?" Maya nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "I've always dreamed of climbing. I'm willing to train and work hard." The climbers exchanged glances before inviting her to train with them. The next day, Maya started her training. Each morning before her shifts at the diner, she would run through the nearby woods, gradually building her endurance. She faced many challenges along the way: heavy rain, rocky trails, and the temptation to sleep in instead of rising early. But with every step, she felt herself growing stronger, both physically and mentally. Maya joined the climbers for their training sessions on weekends. They taught her the basics of climbing, how to use gear, read weather patterns, and navigate rough terrains. The initial days were tough. She struggled with the equipment. Her hands were often sore from gripping the climbing holds, and her muscles ached. But she was fueled by her ambition, pushing through the discomfort. The group quickly became her support system, and she formed close bonds with her mentors and fellow climbers. As the months passed, however, Maya faced setbacks. During one particularly challenging ascent, she slipped and fell, bruising not only her body but also her spirit. The fear of failure crept in, and for a moment, she considered giving up on her dream. Sitting at the foot of the mountain, she felt the weight of her doubt bearing down on her. But ambition has a way of reigniting the flame within. After a few days of reflection, Maya returned to her training, inspired by the stories of resilience from her mentors. They had all faced their own failures but had chosen to rise again. Determined, Maya threw herself into her workouts, pushing her limits further than ever before. Finally, the day of the expedition arrived. The climbers gathered early in the morning, excitement buzzing in the air. Maya felt a whirlwind of emotions: nervousness, thrill, and an overwhelming sense of purpose. As they set off toward the mountain range, the group exchanged stories and laughter, fueling her enthusiasm. The ascent was brutal. The weather was unforgiving, with harsh winds and a biting chill. As they climbed higher, the altitude took its toll on their bodies. Breathless and fatigued, Maya felt doubt creeping in again. But with every step, she reminded herself of her goal and the countless hours of training that had led her to this moment. As they neared the summit, the group faced a particularly treacherous section known as the knife edge. Many climbers hesitated, unsure if they could make it across. But Maya felt a surge of determination welling up inside her. "We can do this together," she called out, her voice steady. Drawing on her training and mental fortitude, she led the way, carefully navigating the narrow ledge. With each step, she urged her fellow climbers on, offering words of encouragement and support. The fear in their eyes slowly transformed into trust and confidence. Finally, they reached the summit, and the world opened up before them, a breathtaking panorama of valleys, rivers, and peaks stretching infinitely toward the horizon. Tears of joy filled Maya's eyes as she realized she had not only conquered the mountain but also her self-doubt. In that moment, she felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. This climb wasn't just about reaching the peak, it was about the journey, the friendships forged, and the dreams pursued. Standing at the summit, she closed her eyes and inhaled the crisp mountain air, feeling gratitude wash over her. She made a silent vow to herself: this was just the beginning. As they descended, Maya reflected on her journey. She understood that ambition isn't merely about reaching a destination, It's about embracing the challenges and growth along the way. She felt empowered, ready to seek new adventures, push her limits further, and inspire others to pursue their dreams. After returning home, Maya began sharing her experiences with the community. She started a local climbing club, inviting others to join her in exploring the outdoors. She became a mentor, guiding newcomers through their own journeys, encouraging them to embrace their ambitions, just as she had. Maya's life transformed, filled with adventures and new challenges. She continued to climb, but she also took on new pursuits, learning to rock climb, navigating ice, and even venturing into international expeditions. Each new experience further fueled her ambition. Years later, standing atop another summit, this time on a distant mountain thousands of miles away, Maya looked out over the vast expanse. She smiled, remembering the girl who once dreamed of climbing but felt trapped by her circumstances. In that moment, she knew her journey was far from over. Every mountain she conquered, every climber she inspired, was a testament to the power of ambition. With her heart full and her spirit ignited, Maya vowed to continue chasing the next horizon, always ready for the next climb. After all, life is a series of peaks and valleys, and she was determined to embrace every part of the journey.